Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Grab yourself a cup of tea and let's talk some boxing now. Fight Camp, this was an interesting show. Obviously Conor Benn versus Granados was pulled because of a positive test on Conor Benn's side, and that was a shame. But still, Leigh Wood and Kanzu filled in, and Leigh Wood actually managed to win by stoppage. It was a great performance because I believe that he was the underdog in this contest and he managed to pull out the victory. So that's incredible, especially considering that was upgraded then to the main event on the card. So what an incredible moment, and while it was a shame that Conor Benn wasn't there, he wasn't performing as the main event, it was great that this one was upgraded to main event and he got his moment that way. So that has just been something that worked out quite well for Fight Camp, and especially for Leigh Wood when he put in that kind of performance for the WBA regular belt at featherweight. Now, one thing that also happened is the announcement of Liam Smith versus Anthony Fowler in a super welterweight clash on October 9th in Liverpool. So that's the same day as Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, but I wouldn't imagine that it would clash too much because Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder will be in the US, this one will be in Liverpool, England, so it's not going to really clash all that much. You can pick and choose if you want to get up and watch Fury beat Wilder again, or if you want to watch this one, which is going to be a very intriguing contest. I don't think you can call it anything other than that. It's going to be an exciting fight because we don't really know what is going to happen. Liam Smith is not the type of fighter to get Anthony Fowler to the next stage. He's not the type of fighter to be, in any way, shape or form, a stepping stone. This is a genuinely tough fight for Anthony Fowler. He has that loss to Scott Fitzgerald, but he has since come back, and he's coming back quite strong. Now Liam Smith is going to be the toughest test of his career aside from Fitzgerald. I actually hope we get to see a lot more of these type of fighters taking risks, because they both have aspirations to challenge for a world championship, but they are still willing to put it on the line and have a good fight for the fans, and one that will be entertaining, but one they must win if they want to go on and challenge for that world championship. So this one will go down in Liverpool on October 9th after Anthony Fowler was able to get the victory last night at Fight Camp. Fight Camp, I believe it's a brilliant setup. It's always interesting because it's a completely different thing compared to what we are used to seeing, and something new is always exciting, especially when it is that kind of show, that kind of event, with the production value as well. The first night for DAZN also, and I don't know if Conor Benn is going to be put on a later card. I believe that could happen. It could happen as early as August 14th, and I believe that Conor Benn isn't really suffering too many symptoms. Eddie Hearn said he seems okay. He didn't even know that he was going to test positive. There were no signs there at all. As long as everything is okay, he doesn't want to go in and rush it, just step in there because he wants to compete at Fight Camp. The important thing is to get the victory, and what he wants out of this fight is to go rounds to see what he can do and put into motion what he has learned in the gym and his fights leading up to this point. It's not about just getting out there and having a fight. It is more than that for Conor Benn at this stage, I believe. So there is no need for him to rush if it would be too soon to fight on August 14th, but I suspect he's gonna try. And I believe that Fight Camp will keep getting better as it progresses over the coming weeks. One thing interesting that did happen was Tommy McCarthy versus Chris Billam-Smith. Now, Chris Billam-Smith actually won by split decision. It was close, but during the build-up to the fight, when they were having their hands wrapped, Tommy McCarthy sent Carl Frampton to check his opponent's hand wraps, which were being done by Shane McGuigan. Now, of course, we know there is a big history there between those two, and then in response, Chris Billam-Smith's team sent Barry McGuigan to watch Tommy McCarthy's hands be wrapped, which meant that Carl Frampton was in the room also. So that made for some very awkward situations, especially in the build-up to that fight, given how important it was for both fighter. And it was a close fight in the end. I don't know if those kind of mind games played a factor in any way, or who it affected more. At the end of the day, it didn't really affect the fighters too much because they weren't heavily emotionally involved in such a situation. It was mainly between Carl Frampton and the McGuigans, and that situation is in the past now, so there is no reason why they can't move on. But it still made for a very awkward situation. I wonder if they said anything to each other, like, "Hi mate, how you doing?" I don't imagine they would even say that. They probably tried to avoid eye contact. Again, awkward situation, and it was put in there just to try and offset Chris Smith, but he responded by sending Barry McGuigan to check the hand wraps of Tommy McCarthy, just to say, "You're not getting in my head. This isn't going to bother me. It's not going to offset me at all. I'm still going to fight the fight I was intending to before we even got here." So guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on Fight Camp, DAZN, how it has all kicked off, the presenters and the commentators? What are your thoughts on that? The whole production? Just give me your thoughts in the comments down below, and maybe even explain some things you would think that they need to improve on as they go through the next coming weeks. Anyway, guys, drop your thoughts on that in the comments below. Also leave a like and grab that subscribe button. Thanks, guys.